Emergency. Paging Dr. B. Emergency.
When I play comedy, the guy told me that will never work. I mean, you have to take the piano out, the trumpets, the percussion. I said, I don't want to change nothing, sir. I'm so sorry about that. And he told me, well, we don't want to put any money behind. If you feel that way, you'll probably have to go back to your country. I said, no, sir, you know something? This is my country. And you like it or not, this is what America's going to sound like. And you know something? We didn't change it, we make it. And 7 years later, I was president of Sony.
When I think of the American dream, I think of my guest on the Fritanga podcast today, Emilio Estefan. He put rhythm to it. He put beat to it. Emilio didn't just chase the American dream, but he helped compose it. I'm an immigrant, and my mommy said to me during my swearing-in ceremony, Hijo, whatever you get from this country, you need to give back twice as much. And Emilio has done that and so much more.
If you see my career, it was not only about Cuban music. It was about Latino music. And that's what I feel so proud. I'm going to leave a legacy, a beautiful legacy for my kids and for my people.
And that's what we're going to discuss today. From fleeing Cuba as a young boy to shaping the sound of a global generation, Emilio Estefan is more than a music producer. He's a builder of legacies, a cultural architect, and one of the most influential Latino voices of our time. With 19 Grammys, a Presidential Medal of Freedom, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a Hispanic Heritage Award that we presented to him on our stage, Emilio has changed lives for generations, and not just through music, but through entrepreneurship, philanthropy, storytelling, and for me personally, as a source of inspiration in the work that I do here at the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. He's worked with icons like Shakira, Mark Anthony, Celia Cruz, Ricky Martin, and of course, his wife Gloria. But before all of that, he was a muchacho with an accordion playing for food after fleeing the Castro regime. No money, broken English, just a big American dream, and a fierce love for his family, his new country, and a relentless belief in himself and the next opportunity. So as America approaches its 250th anniversary, we reflect on a significant American story, an immigrant story, with mi gran amigo, mi modelo, Emilio Estefan. So now, let's Fritanga.
But God, thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. I mean, you know, I feel the same for you. I know we worked so many years, I mean, together for, you know, to make a little bit of legacy. And, you know, we're proud. We're proud of everything we accomplished. And I hope we're a role model to a lot of people to feel proud where you come from and how much we love this country too.
Whatever work I'm doing is a reflection on you, brother. You and Dr. Greer and Gloria and so many that have helped really inspire me, but also give me role models that I can then follow. And I do that every single day in everything I do. So welcome to the Fritanga podcast. I love not having to explain what a fritanga is. Because
Not everybody knows.
No. And we're talking to Mr. Miami. Sorry, Pitbull, but Emilio beat you to it. Hey, what's your favorite fritanga in Miami?
Oh my God, they have so many here. But the good thing about it, you get a fritanga with Cuban food, that they have like a combination of that. And that's what I love about Miami. We come from different countries, but we feel unity and we feel proud. And it's a city that reflects a lot of the things that should be the future, unity and hope.
And should reflect the entire country and world. Absolutely. Miami is a unique place. And I have so many memories of being in Miami, sitting with you, Gloria, and Dr. Greer, just listening to all of you like a little kid sitting with los tíos. And I just remember the last time we were there. And the greatest part was you all were sharing stories about being in high school together. Can you talk about that relationship that you have with people from such a long time ago?
You know, it's a beautiful thing. We had the same friends for so many years. And Dr. Greer is such an inspiration. He's done so many things. That he's such a humble and an incredible human being. What I found about us, I mean, what one of us make it, we feel it's a whole community, and we feel proud. And we say, he's the best. And that's the feeling we have to reflect to the world now, because, you know, I think Latinos going through a rough time. I mean, we're going through a lot of things that, you know, reflects, they cannot hide the things, how much love we have for this country, how much work we've done, and how much we feel that we're lucky to and blessed to live in America.
I've always said, hermano, that you can't make old friends. You can only make new ones. And when I see you and Dr. Greer, and whenever we text each other, there is so much affection and love, and like you said, just always lifting each other. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I was actually interviewed and asked who I looked up to. And I said you. And they said, why? And I said, because like me, you believe everything is possible. No opportunity should be wasted. And it all starts with believing in yourself. That's you. Like, it's always about what comes next. Where did you get that outlook? I mean, you literally will be in a rainstorm and suddenly there's this like sunshine around you.
You know something, I think that happens to me when I was 11 years old. When I saw that, military people came looking for dollars in my house. And I saw how my family was treated in Cuba. I had to make a decision to leave Cuba because I didn't want to get into a military age and stay another 50 years. And I told my mom when I was 11 years old, I have to leave, Mom. I said, if you leave, I don't know if we'll be able to see each other. And I said, I need, it's only one a little bit of life that I be able to live, and maybe I can be able to raise some money and bring it back to a free country. And it was a hard decision because I went through really bad times. But that teaches me that, something, not to be afraid of anything because everything can be accomplished. I mean, I'm talking about, a career that, when we started our music, we was born in Cuba. Being born in Cuba, we had the Cuban rhythm. But we grew up in Miami. Miami is a city that we have Motown, we have disco, we have, Mexican music, Puerto Rican music, Dominican Republic, Colombia. And that's what it says, it's my sound. The people I grew up, people that I admire so much for so many countries. This studio is playing, I'm in the studio now in Crescent Moon. It became an embassy to produce some of so many incredible hits all over the world. From Alejandro Fernandez or Carlos Vive or, Celia Cruz. What a history and what a pride for me and for Gloria. It was almost impossible also to make with conga. If I tell you the whole story about conga, and Dr. Beat, it was crazy because, we put in the contract we wanted to make half of the album in English, so at least 2 songs in the Spanish album, 2 songs in English. And when we went to the company, I said, my God, we have a song called Dr. Beat. It's going to be great. He said, that would never work, man. And me and Gloria, without money, and we went and just, take the record everywhere, all the record pools, and all of the songs went #1 in Holland, #1 in England. And I said, something? I think that happens because I went to such a hard childhood. I wanted to be sure that my kids never go through what I went through in my whole life. Because it was very difficult to be separated. I got reunited with my mom 50 years later. And I used to write to her every single day to see how she was doing, how my grandfather was doing, my brother, Lily, my niece. And it's a beautiful thing when you can show people that, not to be afraid. I remember when we received the Medal of Freedom, it was not about me and Gloria, it was about the whole community. I think I was representing people that I can inspire. We and Gloria, we had such a beautiful career, but it was hard at the beginning because the people say, it was almost impossible us to, to be able to make without money and without a label, believing in what I was doing. There was a sound that I was proud to call the Miami sound.
You may not have had the money, but you had these values that you got from your mommy and papi and from your native Cuba and from the tios and tias and abuelos y abuelas. Can you talk about those principles that you brought over here and were able to survive, but also thrive? And that responsibility that you keep with you, whether it's supporting Hispanic Heritage Foundation or supporting other artists, you've always had this responsibility.
It was a beautiful thing because, my mom told me, I said, something, you're going to go to a new country. Be always very thankful, but be sure to give back. And never forget where you came from. But, when you go to a country and they open your door, be sure that, you appreciate everything you do and be thankful to live in a free country. My dad and my mom teach me a lot of beautiful things in life that, believe it or not, what you do with your family really represent the rest of your life. Even when they're gone, you still have a lot of memories. It's not one day in my life that I don't think about my mom and my dad because, I learned a lot from them. It was really hard, people, to leave a country when you are 50 or 60 years old and you have to start a new place without knowing the language and doing, and not having a title because, people that when they leave Cuba, you're not allowed to take any diploma or anything saying that you was, and you have to start a totally brand new career. But I think Miami represents a lot of. I'm so proud about the people when they came here. I mean, they have to clean the house. They clean the house, and they did it with such a class and such important things. I mean, even the little money they used to make, it was to to keep it and send the kids to a grade school. And so I was so proud to see people. They didn't buy a car because they wanted to send the kids to grade school. And the reason I tell you that story because people think that you make it famous overnight. It's not like that. You know that. It's really hard for a lot of people to make things overnight. That doesn't happen. You have to work hard. I still work like crazy, but I love life. I love life. I wake up in the morning, I thank God. I say, I'm ready to go. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Even we celebrating this week. We're celebrating Gloria's album is #1 in the United States. I mean, England, Spain, Finland, Holland. I mean, and it broke every single record in the States, every single format. And that can prove that even music it has no limits. No, it's not about age. It's how you do things to make things show the world that you're still alive and you can make things that to inspire a new generation.
You are part of a wave of Cuban Americans that are now almost 3 million strong and have made such a positive impact on America and American history. I always feel like when I talk to a Cubano or a Venezuelan, that somos primos, because I'm from Nicaragua and we share in some of the challenges that it has. But Miami being a hub for immigrants ready to work, create, and contribute that you talked about, can you share the value that our familia from Venezuela, from Haiti, from Mexico, from Central and South America, and across the world bring to this country?
He said an amazing story because, realistic, what I'm so proud is, I mean, for a young kid, it's easier. Because Gloria came when she was only a year and a half. This is her country. I mean, everything that she loved about Cuba is because her mom and her dad. Every day she used to talk to her about Cuba. And don't forget where you come from. But, realistic in her heart, that for her, the United States is her country. You can both, two countries. I always say that. I said, sometime when I receive an award, it's not, like I say, it's not about me and Gloria. It's about a whole community. I mean, from different part of the world. One of the beautiful things is when you receive something and you express to people that the unity is important for Latinos is important. I remember I produced 40 events in the White House. That 6 different presidents. I'm not into politics. I'm no Democrat, no Republican. I always look what is good for the country and what is good for the people. And I remember when President Biden called me and said, Emilio, I want you to produce some of America. I said, Mr. President, you only have 22 days. I mean, you do a lot of things in the White House. I don't mind doing it, Mr. President. I don't want to cross the line. The only thing is the guy who's a dictator in my country is there. I cannot do that. Venezuela and Nicaragua. And I went, he said, go to Oval Office. 10 minutes later, he came. I said, Emilio, we don't want to buy any Cuba, Nicaragua, or Venezuela. To me, that was an award to a lot of people because, something, I was doing the right thing. Without crossing the line of respect, I was honoring that he was asking me to produce that. But I cannot do things that, I cannot lie to people. I mean, we have a feeling about our country still into the dictatorship. And a lot of people fly and come here because, it's really tough to wake up in the morning and tell the government what you have to do or what you cannot do. And sometimes they're looking for hope. And it was a beautiful thing for me when he told me that because, like I say, I work with so many, and I've been appointed with so many different presidents that it's a blessing. I always try to represent unity between the American people and the Latino people because we feel the same love for this country that we feel for our country. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that saying, Emilio, ni de aquí ni de allá.
Yeah.
Well, you represent de aquí y de allá.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes you, honestly, when you're receiving those awards, we all feel like we're receiving it as well. But why are we so misunderstood as immigrants and underestimated the same way you were back in the 60s when your wave came over here? How is that still happening in 2025?
Well, sometimes, the media sometimes shows things that is not very positive. Maybe when it's 2 or 3 like that, you find 1 million, they're doing incredible things. And that's our duty to, reflect to the people, a whole community. Always try to tell people how much we love this country. how many incredible things Latinos done to this country. I mean, in a way that, they feel that they accomplished something to an America, to America. And I think that's what I love about what we're talking today, because, it's two of us who went to the same situation. And look how many beautiful things you've done with Hispanic heritage, how many things, how much work it takes, how much people don't realize it. Even to produce a show like that, like you do in the Kennedy Center, it's a beautiful thing. When I was there introducing Carolina Herrera, it was so beautiful for me that, come and, to feel proud about her. She accomplished so many beautiful things. That she's from Venezuela, and it was a beautiful night to see the celebration about accomplishment. And I want to congratulate you about that, because you've done such a great work for that.
Well, I have a team that does the production. I show up like a guest, just like you and Carolina. But she asked for you to present it to her. So we didn't say, how about so-and-so as your presenter? She said, I want Emilio Estefan to present.
That's a beautiful thing. I love her, because, I always tell her how much I love her. And so many beautiful things. Like, when you go all over the world and you talk about fashion, you only mention Carolina, and you don't have to say Herrera. They know who she is. And that's the role models we need. We live in a very competitive world when it comes to fashion, to food, to music especially. I'm never going to forget, after we became so, extremely famous with Dr. Beat, all over Europe, and, even in the dance charts, #1 in the state, we went to Holland, and we played the Dr. Beat and I Need a Man, but we didn't have more English songs. So I told Gloria, people said, we want more. And I said, let's play the Cuban congas. Gloria said, well, they don't speak English, they don't speak Spanish. I said, let's do it. And then Gloria came out with the idea to do the song that she told the drummer. She started writing. He started writing, then Gloria come into the picture to work with him. And I was so happy when I went 7 times to Sony, and they told me they're really busy, Emilio. They're really busy. Maybe later on, we have to wait 2 hours. And 7 times I came back. I had money only to go in the morning and come back that night. I didn't have money for a hotel. That was great. The day that I was allowed to come in upstairs, the guy said, congratulations about Dr. B. You're doing great in the Latin market. And I said, yeah, and now I have a new single. And when I play conga, the guy told me, that will never work. You have to take the piano out, the trumpets, the percussion. This is, as a matter of fact, maybe it should be a man singing this. No, a girl, women don't sell records like, I said, I don't want to change nothing, sir. I'm so sorry about that. And he told me, well, we don't want to put any money behind. If you feel that way, you'll probably have to go back to your country. I said, no, sir, you know something, this is my country. And you like it or not, this is what America's going to sound like, and this is what is going to happen many years from now. When I see now that, Latino music sells over 1.6 billion global, that makes me so happy. And you know something, we didn't change it, we make it, and 7 years later, I was president of Sony. That's the story. People should know. Then when I did the Ricky Martin, this became an embassy because I was, helping my people from Puerto Rico. And Shakira came, that from Colombia, and Jennifer Lopez from Puerto Rico, and Alejandro Fernandez, and Carlos Vives from Colombia. It's such a pride moment in my life that brings me so much joy that I was helping my people. When I say my people, I belong to all of them, all this country. I'm part of that. When I worked with Alejandro Fernandez, I had the honor to work with Vicente Fernandez when I did We Are the World. And Ana Gabriel, that Banda Recodo. I worked with so many diversity of people that it's such a beautiful career. But if you see my career, it was not only about Cuban music. It was about Latino music. And that's what I feel so proud. I'm going to leave a legacy, a beautiful legacy for my kids and for my people. When I go out on the streets, sometimes people come and give me a hug and they thank you. You don't have to thank me. This is what we're supposed to do. And that's one thing that I always feel proud about each other. Even we come from different places and we feel the pride about, when, like I always say, when we get in our work, one of us make it, the whole community makes it.
The potential for every single person that comes into this country is to benefit the country.
Absolutely.
And you can't work around us. We are an essential part of this country, and that's the beauty of the immigrant experience, that we have this responsibility like you did. How do we pay back America twice as much as we got, which is something our parents told us as we were getting sworn in. But Emilio, that I love this responsibility that you have to help others after what you went through with Sony and then started running Sony Music in terms of the Latino segment. Um, who were those people that kind of influenced you? So many Cuban greats. I know Celia, Cachao, and others. But I'm interested in who shaped you and the sound that you helped create, because it is just like a mold of all these different things. And you almost created a Miami Motown. The Miami Sound Machine had a stamp on everything that came out of there, whether it was from Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, it didn't matter. It had the stamp, the Estefan stamp on it.
My role model, believe it or not, was Quincy Jones, my compadre. He was Emily's godfather. And the first nomination, I was against Michael Jackson, the American market for the Grammys. And he sat next to me and said, man, you did conga. That sound is great. And he told me one thing that I'm never going to forget. I said, what I did for black music, you're going to do for Latinos. I'm proud.
Wow.
Always take one person to tell you you're proud, that, it can really move you in a way to represent your community. I said, man, do it right. He told me, do it right. I'm here for you. Always, the good thing about this country, we have so many incredible people that help us and try to make things better for all the people. And he was my mentor. I mean, when he passed away, the last time I talked to him, he was with Emily in his house, and we started crying about it. I said, you're familiar. And, it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, what he did for music, I know. When he mentioned black music, he was talking, he had a lot of soul. But he did everything. I mean, you mentioned Quincy Jones. I mean, he did everything. The other one was Phil Ramon. I mean, from Billy Joe to, oh my God, so many, Paul Simon, and so many incredible people. And that's what I feel hope, because, something, you can have maybe somebody that will not really tell you that, but you'll find a lot of people that, try to help. America is a place with people full of good hearts that try to, help to homeless, to people, and I mean, scholarships and things like that. That's a beautiful thing that, I hope we never they take that away from America, because this is an incredible country.
Yeah, and just seeing all of you come together. The last time I saw you was at Adrian's house. I think it was for the Kennedy Center Honors, and we were doing she was doing a party for Arturo Sandoval, who had received the award. And when he walked by that piano, and he had this glint in his eye, and he just said, "Can I play it?" And he just sat down and started playing it. And I saw you smiling at your compadre. He couldn't help it. He can't walk by a piano and not play it, or a trumpet and not play it. I just to witness this through the work that I'm privileged to do. I get to be in the room with all of you, and there really is this connection that you all have. Can you talk about that bond that nobody can break, of you musicians that, but also have a vision beyond the music?
It's a beautiful thing. I remember when Arturo came from Cuba, I called him, knowing that he was one of the best.
When he first got here?
Yeah, from Cuba, first time. And I said, I have a record label. I would like to do a record for you. He was doing the piano album. And I finished the piano album. And then his dream was to do an album with Quincy. So I called Quincy. I said, Quincy, let's do an album for Arturo. He said, yeah, man, I love him. And we did an album for him that was nominated for the Grammys. And, Quincy was the kind of guy that, with such a big heart, said, of course I want to do it. We didn't have a big budget. And he said, doesn't matter. I want to help. He's one of us. And I know Arturo for so many years, the only way we came. And every time we see each other, I mean, we love and kiss. I mean, and such a beautiful thing about, I believe a lot of love. But, I think when you wake up and you do something better for somebody else, you always come back to me. I learned that from my dad. My dad won the lottery 27 times. 27 times he won the lottery. He died with one pair of shoes and one suit because he didn't want money. He said, I came without money, I have to go without money. And he was the happiest person in the whole life, and he teach me that. I said, whatever you do for others, it's going to come to you 10 times more. And, I learned that from him.
He also played music, right? You had a little group with him, El Conjunto Capetillo, I think it was called?
We named it because one of the time when he won the lottery, he brought instruments for all the kids that, in Cuba. And he came from Havana with so many, like accordion, percussion, drums, bass, and, I learned from my dad. Every time he did something, for example, for that, so I want to call the conjunto, like a lead band, a conjunto capetillo, but he wasn't going to, put us to, together to do that. And we used to play that when we was kids.
So you know how to be at the other end of a supportive musician parent. How is it for you now that you've got Emily and you and Gloria have Emily? And I'm telling you, we're going to post a link to her music. Emilio Estefan is a real one. I mean, I saw her playing drums. Then I see her playing guitar. She sings. She writes. I mean, she's a force of nature on her own. But you see elements of Gloria in you, not just in her face, but in her music. Can you talk about her? I'm a huge fan of hers. I want her on this podcast, actually.
Something, Emily's an amazing musician. I mean, for me, even though I had so many nominations, I won so many Grammy, I never learned music. Everything is by ear. I didn't have money to learn music. And, Emily has that, but she went to Berklee School of Music. So when you combine the passion for music and, everything she saw here, saying Celia Cruz and Tito Puente and Alejandro Fernandez and Carlos Vive, I mean, she captured all that. But, I'm so proud. I mean, right now they're writing an incredible history about for Broadway with Gloria. It's called Basura. And Basura is a Broadway show that is based on from Paraguay. All the kids didn't have any money, and they built all the instruments with the garbage.
Let me just stop you right there. Do you know I'm half Paraguayan?
I didn't know that.
My mama was from Paraguay.
Wow. Well, you're going to be blown away what they're doing because, Gloria is writing the music with Emily. And when I see her conducting and writing the parts, I mean, Emily is an amazing musician, singer. And I see her, telling all these musicians what to do and everything. And she has a little bit of me as a production when it comes and then Gloria too. But we love her. Let me tell you, my kids, Gloria does such a great, they're so humble. One thing that we teach them all the way from the beginning is 2 words you can never forget. Please and thank you. It's two things that people should learn that, to everybody. We're all equal, and they learn. They are so humble and so nice to people, and that's such a. We're blessed to have two beautiful kids. And my grandson is exactly the same. He said, the other day my grandson told me, "Abuelito, what school you went?" I said, Miami High. Said, how come they never teach you English the perfect way? I said, listen, I have to learn English almost by ear. But I have to work in cool jobs and I have to go to school. So
just like you learn music.
But he speaks like 4 different languages perfect. I mean, her mom is Italian, French because grandmother is from Paris. And then we have, of course, Cubans and American. But I mean, he's an incredible musician too. He sings like incredible too. So the whole family is great. When we get together, we get singing and we celebrate music. And that's a beautiful thing.
No, I saw it. The 3 of them were on stage, I believe, at the lighting of the Christmas tree concert.
They did the Christmas album. They did the whole Christmas album, all of them.
I was just like, you guys need to have more babies.
Yeah.
You can just sign family members. You don't even have to find outside of the family.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Brother, talk to me about having been married since 1978. To me, of all your success, that you should get an award for. What is the foundation of your relationship and your interactions that keeps you together since 1978? And it's chronicled the ups and downs that you've had throughout those years.
It's an amazing thing, but I think it's love. First, love, respect. I always put Gloria first. She always take me first. I think Gloria is an incredible woman. I see her when she went to her dad. I mean, when her dad went to Bay of Pigs because he believed in freedom back to free Cuba. And she has to live with her mom because there was no money. Her mom was with 2 kids. And then he came back and said, in order to do something back for this country, to help us maybe one day to have a free Cuba, I need to go to Vietnam. He went to Vietnam. When he came from Vietnam, they put the orange gas, and he came in a wheelchair, being a captain in a wheelchair. And Gloria had to take care of her dad when she was 8 and 9 years old, when her mom used to go to work and to get a degree, back again the degree. Gloria has an incredible foundation. I mean, most of the things that Gloria does and nobody knows is charity. She loves to give back to people. You know something? She's an incredible woman. I'm so proud. It's so beautiful when you love somebody and you are proud. And I mean, I'm a big fan because you know something. People like her makes women look incredible because you know something. She's done so many incredible things. Even you know, Chick Clapp, the University of Miami, 7 years and 3 years. I mean, Gloria said in family that she speaks 3 languages. But I mean, her, we had the same values. Same value about family, about money, about giving back to the community, about our career. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. We want to be now 49 years married. Can't wait to have 50 years old married, man. And by the way, you have to say yes, baby. Everything she tell me, yeah, she wants to do something, say yes, baby. It's okay.
If anyone is in the same room with the two of you, there's the way you defer to each other and look at each other and let you finish your sentences before you jump in. And that mutual respect is palpable. Like I can feel it in the air, and it really goes to show. And just the way that you're constantly supporting what she's about to do. And it's always going forward. It's her next album. It's this next Broadway show. You never look back. And so I'm excited about the Broadway show now that I know that it has a Paraguayan theme to it. When's that coming out?
Well, it's going to start next year in Atlanta for full rehearsal and before it goes to Broadway. But you're going to love what Emily's done and Gloria with the harps and the percussion. I mean, Alex, they created Hamilton. He's the Wicked. I mean, he's done such top of the lines and when it comes to Broadway. And I'm so proud what they're coming. And Gloria's coming out with a new movie now, Gabby Dollhouse. It's a series that was done on television for kids, and she played the grandma. So she's promoting now the movie, is doing the Broadway show, and promoting the album, which is going everywhere now with the album. But you know something? People take life for granted. The minute you can wake up in the morning and say, listen, I want to do and try to do the best that I can, and that's always what we've done in our life. And it's a beautiful thing that, you know, at our age, that we go back and do it. I mean, #1 album, showing Broadway is going to be incredible. A movie that's going to be #1 too, because it's a huge series on TV. I think it's a beautiful thing that we'll be able to show our kids. And you know something? We do a lot of things, but it's more things to do. By the way, I'm producing the fourth thing I'm going to be doing now, the opening of the World Cup.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing the MLS too. I'm producing the whole opening. I wrote and produced the whole opening. So you'll be able to see a lot of Latino rhythms when it comes to Africa, Afrobeat, and a little bit of Motown. I think people are going to love the opening. It's going to be unbelievable.
Hey, I have to take a moment of privilege to just to talk about what the Estefans have done for our organization. So for me personally, there was the Minecraft game that, by the way, was played by up to 30 million kids in almost 30 different languages that were getting on their feet and knowing your story. That just goes to show that you will always adapt to the world you're in. If it's younger, you'll figure out how to reach that audience. The youth awards that were hosted at Bongos and getting everyone to join us in that celebration. You produced the Hispanic Heritage Awards and the TV show a couple of years. I remember working with your whole team that are now everywhere in entertainment. Like, you have branches everywhere. But more importantly, when I see you, whether it's at the White House or whether it's at a small lunch somewhere in Miami, you always come over to say hello. And sometimes no te quiero molestar, so I'm just standing in the back and you're like, hey, muchacho.
I'm a big fan of yours, man. I'm a big fan because I know how hard you work. I remember we did at the Kennedy Center. I was dealing with the union. I said, oh my God, I never dealt with the union. And we didn't have a big budget. I said, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But we did it.
We still don't have a big budget, but we still get it done.
Yeah.
But again, these are all elements of your legacy, and I am still thinking about who's next. Are there any acts that you see that are coming up?
Listen, I'm producing now the one, to me, is one of the album that I love doing. It's called Sima Funk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's done our Hispanic Heritage Awards twice.
Well, I'm doing.
You saw him last year.
I just finished the album for them, and the album is fantastic. And, you know, the people gonna love this album. He's an incredible guy, and He came for
Cubano.
Yeah, he came for one song, and I wrote 11 songs in a week, and the album is fantastic. And I was blown away when they performed in the Kennedy Center. Everybody did, but they're doing now 20,000 people in Japan, 6 times the band in Japan, Australia, New Zealand. England, 8 times in England, Holland, Germany. They go everywhere now. Emily played with them 2 weeks ago in the Carnegie Hall in New York. When I said to you, these people have something, but I think what I found is a sound that represent like Miami Sound Machine. A lot of authentic Cuban music, Latino music with funk, and that never has been done. And the guy is fantastic. I'm so happy that soon it's going to be announced what label is going to be. All the labels want to sign them, and they're fantastic.
Yes, a shout out John Riley, because we had him on our program several times, and it blew everybody away on our stage.
Yes.
Who else do you have coming up?
I'm doing Nico Ruiz. Nico Ruiz is a kid from Chile, and he's amazing. 20-something years. And he's selling out everywhere. Mexico, 2 arenas. Without a record, they're doing all over Latin America, selling out everywhere. The record is amazing because I'm using a lot of sort of tropical music, but at the same time, I'm doing a lot of the ballads and things like that. The kid is like Luis Miguel. I got the honor to produce Luis Miguel. The first one who produced Luis Miguel was me.
Did you really?
Yeah. I have a picture in the studio of me and him. That was probably around 42 years ago. And when I see him, he has that kind of voice. I'm producing something I'm excited to is the four tenors from Canada, the tenors. And they don't speak Spanish, but I'm doing a Spanish album. So, and I love that. Let me tell you, the feeling of that album is amazing. And we have one of them, he's from Costa Rica. So he has a little bit of that, of course, Spanish. But the other guys, they didn't know, absolutely. And I made them, learn some of the lyrics, and they're doing an incredible job. So I've been busy with that. Of course, I produced the Wailers, but my last 2 nominations was with the Wailers, Bob Marley's band, which I was my 46th nomination for Grammys.
No, you cross every culture, and that just shows why your mentor was Quincy Jones, because he had that same spirit.
Yeah.
When I think of the Wailers, I remember I met them during World Cup in 1994. And they were playing in Washington, D.C. with Willie Nelson and I think Shaka Khan and a bunch of other acts. And those guys were so cool. And they were playing with Ziggy.
Yeah.
And are these the original? You have a couple of the original guys on
We
there?
have two of the originals and
They were really old,
but now
35 years ago.
But we have 2 guys that they still come and play. And we got lucky that in the last album, I recorded Rita. She was the original background vocal. She's old, but she sounded great. And then they have the grandsons and part of the family, and they recruit all the people from Jamaica. But they have such a great sound, and we've been looking off, and they do fantastic. They're touring now. They do 200 dates a year, so they're doing well. Fantastic. I wrote a song that became like an anthem for them. It's called "One Word, One Prayer," and that song it's a great message how I feel about life. About we should have one prayer, one love, because That's the way people should think about the future of the world more than anything else.
Once again, you're leaving me inspired. We need to have links to everything Emilio is mentioning, because honestly, we need hope right now. And your currency has always been hope, through your music, through your work, through the way you are in your family, through the way you are in the community. You've always offered hope. And you're just the reason why you're my role model, and the reason why you're someone I admire so much, and I wanted you on this podcast so bad, is for that reason. So, Emilio, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. People should know everything you know, to bring people together. I see in the Hispanic heritage how hard it is to do something and to put up a show. The last show was fantastic. Congratulations. Such a different way we started. We didn't have the big budget, but you know something? You accomplished to take a big show with a lot of pride. And when at the end of the show, I was feeling there when I saw Los Angeles Azules, and we have the diversity of people. It's such a beautiful thing when Latinos get together and celebrate each other. It's not a competition. It's about a whole, like I wrote a song for the Elvis Crespo, Una sola bandera, un solo color, one flag, one color. It's about pride on the community. Pride to represent and to be thankful to live in the best country in the whole world. We don't come here to take the things. We come here to make a contribution, and we have to be that role model and show the world that we can do things better to the world, not to the United States, to the world. We need now love in the world because the world is going through difficult times, and I think we can be a role model because we learn the hard way. But sometimes you can be. I learned that when Gloria got the accident. We was on top of the world. And when the doctor told me, I don't think she'll be able to walk again. In 1 minute, your life can change. So, something she came back in a big way. It's a beautiful thing what is happening to us now, to have a #1 album now at our age. It's a beautiful thing to do that because, that can prove people that music has no age and no country. Music is music. The music brings people together and unity. Like the song for the Cups, the World Cup. It's called Unity because, we need to send that message to the world.
And Emilio, thank you for also capturing that because that's what we're trying to do on our stage. And I have to shout out, Connor and Ambrose and the team of dozens that work on that. Again, I just show up as a guest pretty much, just weighing in a little bit. We always close, though, with a quick question that we have, which is, what brings you comfort? And I can't wait to hear your answer. What food brings you comfort? What music, what books, what movies that actually make you, in these times, make you feel like you're okay?
I'm going to tell you, I want to start with the movies. A lot of people, they don't know that I don't do any movies. My first movie was Top Gun. I did Evita for Madonna, 3 Men and a Baby, Pocahontas, Little Mermaid. All these alone movies, Birdcage, I don't saw Empire. I done so many movies in my whole life. Every time that I do something music for a movie, I try to do a positive lyrics about leaving something behind. That's what I usually do when I see a movie that at the end it has a happy ending. I think my life is very happy, and the food, I have to tell you, I'm sort of confused in a way. My dad was from Lebanon. My mom from Spain. I was born in Cuba. I'm an American. And so imagine how I feel. I can eat, from the Lebanese food to the Spanish food to Cuban food to American food. We're blessed that we can be able to eat because so many people cannot eat every single day. So every time I have even a sandwich, I thank that we have the opportunity to live in a free country and we will do it. I mean, music, I like everything, man. It all depends. I mean, music can change your mood, it can change your life. Music changed my life in a positive way. And I hope the only thing that I can tell you my less comfort, that I think we did something with a lot of principles representing a community, that my kids feel proud and the community feel proud. And we're blessed, man. Blessed that we accomplished something, a beautiful marriage, beautiful awards that doesn't belong to me and Gloria, belong to the community. And I hope our career, me and Gloria, will be a great role model to a lot of people, that we're good people, and we try to do what is best to leave something behind, and I think we've done that. But I want to thank you so much, Antonio. We love you very much. Congratulations.
I love you, Emilio.
We celebrate soon the Hispanic Heritage Award.